The quote I chose is, "If at first you don't succeed, try again," by William Edward Hickson. To me, this quote means that failure should not be the reason we give up, but instead it should be the reason we work harder, learn from our mistakes, make adjustments, and keep trying to reach our goals and dreams. I agree with this quote because persistence helps people improve, and continuing to try could help us go through difficult challenges in our everyday life. One way this quote applies to our lives is through learning from failure. When somebody fails at something, we have the opportunity to understand what we did wrong and try again a second time. For example, in dance, you're not gonna learn the choreo perfectly on the first try. You might mess up the timing, forget the counts, or struggle with a certain move. Instead of giving up, us dancers practice so we become confident and comfortable with the moves. The more we practice, the more we improve. Failure is not always the end. Sometimes it is just the beginning of us become a better person in our skill. Another important part of this quote is the determination needed to keep going. Us dancers spend hours on practicing routines, learning difficult movements, and improving our techniques. There may be times where we don't get the part we wanted in a performance, or struggle with a part that seems easy for everybody else but ourselves. It could be very frustrating and disappointing, but giving up won't make it easier or better. Continuing to practice gives us another chance to improve. Even when progress feels very slow, a small improvement over time could make a big impact in the end. You could not become better at something if you stop trying. Beyond dance, this also applies to the challenges we face every day. It could be difficult stuff during school, relationships, trying to reach our self goals, or even trying to become more confident. Sometimes you may feel like giving up because things aren't going the way you wanted it to. Think about receiving a bad grade in school. You could decide that you're not good at the subject anymore and stop trying, or you could keep pushing yourself, ask questions, learn from your mistakes, study harder, and try again the second time. The same idea applies when working toward a personal goal. Progress may be slow, but that doesn't mean you're failing. Sometimes success takes a lot of patience and time and more than one attempt. I agree with William Edward Hickson's quote because failure could help us improve. Dance shows us the importance of practice and determination, and everyday challenges teach us that we should not give up when things get difficult. Nobody succeeds in the first time, and if they do, it's very rare. What matters is whether we let the failure stop us, or we let the failure give us motivation to keep going. Dance taught me that improvement takes time, and that challenges is an important part of growing. Once again, the quote says, "If at first you don't succeed, try again." The next time something doesn't go the way you want it to, just remember the failure doesn't always determine the end. Sometimes it is simply another opportunity for us to try again and even do better than we did the first time.